This week on What Do You Got? Last meal.
Ooh, stay tuned.
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day. Oh, yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Bro Down Podcast. I'm Tim Fulton.
I'm Andy Smith.
And this is What Do You Got? A little segment where we talk about lighthearted topics, and Andy still somehow brings up death every single time. Andy, it is your turn. What do you got?
Changing gears. Last meal. So I saw this story about craziest last meals of people on death row.
I think I vaguely remember reading something years ago, but sorry.
Okay,
continue.
so I just picked out the top 7, whatever I have in here. That's my chaotic notes.
Okay.
So we're just going to go over a couple of them right now. So the first one is Peter J. Mitchell. All right. So I've looked up the background on some of these. So Peter J. Mitchell, a.k.a. Peter Hernandez, convicted in the May of 1986, slaying and robbery of a 20-year-old Paul Manier, at Manier's North Harrison County apartment. He basically stabbed him in the back of the neck with knives and beat him in the head with an automobile shock absorber. So this is the kind of guy. What is the kind of guy like that want to eat for the last meal?
We're about to find out.
Would you ask? If you had to guess based on his criminal history, after striking the guy in the head with a heavy glass beer mug, stabbing him 39 times in the neck, and beating him in the head with a shock absorber, like, what do you think the palate of somebody like that would be?
Well, it says here he's from a place called Cook County. So naturally, I would assume that means he would want something gourmet that a fancy cook would make him. So I'm going to say he's a meat and potato guy. How about a filet mignon?
Okay, this is what he requested. 20 beef tacos, 20 beef enchiladas, 2 double cheeseburgers, a pizza with jalapenos, fried chicken, spaghetti, half a chocolate cake, half a vanilla cake, cookies and cream ice cream, caramel pecan fudge ice cream, a small fruit cake, 2 Coca-Colas, 2 Pepsi-Colas. This motherfucker. He's getting vanilla and chocolate and Pepsi and Coke. He is a psycho. 2 root beers and 2 orange juices.
Maybe he thought he could just keep eating until he died of natural causes.
Oh, they got a timer, I'm sure.
I'm thinking, when I first heard the 20 beef tacos, I was immediately thinking to myself, oh, so he plans on shitting himself hard and making the entire room smell terrible as revenge.
Oh, if he ate all that, then...
There's no way.
Yeah.
He had an entire cake
Yeah.
in that list.
But apparently after he did murder this poor bastard that he murdered, he then reportedly cleaned up and went out for a hamburger. And there was 2 double cheeseburgers listed in this thing. So, I don't know what that means, but it means something. So next up is Marjorie Barfield. Okay. Now, what do you think that she was convicted of? Just look at her real quick.
I'm going to say murdering her children or grandchildren.
Close. 6 people.
Okay.
She's the first woman to be
Executed.
killed by lethal injection. Summary. After 2 marriages that ended with death of her husbands, by 1977, Barfield was in a relationship with Stuart Taylor, who was a widower and tobacco farmer. As she'd been doing for years, she forged checks on Taylor's account to pay for her addiction to prescription drugs. Fearing she'd been found out, she mixed arsenic-based rat poison into his beer and tea. He became very ill, and she volunteered to nurse him. His condition worsened. He died a few days later. So basically, she was convicted, I believe, of 1 murder, and she later confessed to 6. So
how many times can you kill someone with arsenic and get away with it? I guess after the first 3, you're probably saying to yourself, oh, this is an option.
Yeah. Well, so she always attended the funeral of her victims and appeared to generally be sad. Probably the biggest type of psychopath.
Yeah.
That you can get. But I'm sure there's going to be some more. This one scares me the most, I think. So what do you think? What do you think old Velmy would like for her last meal? Let's get a picture of her. What do you think that
tea?
crazy bitch?
Oh my god. She looks like a spaghetti and meatballs kind of gal.
She looks like the Where's the Meat lady's
She
sister.
does. Where's
Yeah.
the beef?
Where's the beef?
I put that shit on everything.
So what do you think? Guess.
Spaghetti meatballs.
A bag of cheese doodles and a can of Coke. Really went all out on that one. So next we have probably the most infamous dude on this one, Timothy McVeigh,
Yay.
who was responsible for the Oklahoma City bombing that
Yep.
killed 168 people.
I remember that. Oh my god, holy shit, we're old.
Yeah, what?
He died younger than we are now. Time flies.
Yes, he did. Well, he was killed. Let's be honest. So,
Tomato.
what do you think the Oklahoma City bomber would request as a last meal?
Chianti to go with the liver.
2 pints of mint chocolate chip ice cream. He looks like Eminem there.
Kind of does.
8 Mile.
Why
All
did
right.
he do that? I can't remember.
I forget.
We were young when that happened.
Yeah, I forget. So next we have Gerald Lee Mitchell, convicted in June 1985 for robbery and slaying of 20-year-old Charles Marino in Houston. Marino and his brother-in-law Kenneth Fleming went to the Acres Home area of Houston to buy some marijuana and met Mitchell in City Park. He offered to sell them the drug, but then pulled out a sawed-off shotgun on them and eventually forced them to drive to a vacant house. After taking $25, car keys from Marino, Mitchell forced him and Fleming onto the floor. He then shot them both with a 12-gauge shotgun from a distance of 10 feet. Left for dead with Marino, Fleming survived the gunshot wound to the hip. Mitchell was arrested in Corpus Christi 7 days later after the shooting. He was convicted on attempted capital murder of Fleming, shooting, given 60 years. He's also serving 60 years in the shooting of Hector. Oh my God.
Manguia?
Yeah. So this guy murdered 2 people, or murdered 1 person and attempted murders for another person for $25.
Yep.
So what does a guy that really, really, really needs $25 ask for?
50.
For his last meal.
Pack of cigarettes.
I believe that this guy, this is in Texas, I believe, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. So this guy is the reason why inmates are not allowed to request their own meals in Texas anymore.
Why? What did he order?
That being said, what do you think some of the items on the list were?
Probably something redonkulous, obviously. What, a key to get out?
That's not a meal.
Well, they didn't say it had to be food.
Okay,
It was
so
implied.
he ordered 2 chicken fried steaks with gravy and sliced onions, triple patty bacon cheeseburger, cheese omelet with ground beef, tomatoes, onions, bell peppers, jalapenos, bowl of fried okra with ketchup, 1 pound of barbecued meat with half loaf of white bread, 3 fajitas, a meat lover's pizza, 1 pint of Blue Bell ice cream, a slab of peanut butter fudge with crushed peanuts, 3 root beers. When the food arrived, he didn't eat anything, saying that he wasn't hungry. So he fucked it up for all the other convicted murderers who are on death row.
So you didn't just kill someone, you fucked it up for everyone.
Yeah. So that's what this douche, that's what he did. The next one I don't have a background on because I think it was earlier. I couldn't find him in the quick search that I did.
Yeah.
I think this one was in like the 40s or something because they hung him.
Okay.
So this guy, I think he just murdered a guy.
Okay.
Like just a regular old murder. I
dude
could be
murdered
way
a dude.
wrong, but his name was Victor Fugger.
Oh.
What do you think a guy like Victor Fugger would?
Victor Fugger, He murdered Fugger. That sounds German. I'm gonna go with some sausage.
A single pitted olive.
Oh, these people are funny because they it's either like a giant fuck you, or like I'm gonna order everything I've ever wanted.
Yeah.
That one sounds kind of like a fuck you.
Well, what he did was after they executed him, they found the olive pit in his pocket.
Oh.
And he had previously stated that he would like to have his body grow into an olive tree when he died because that's the symbol of peace.
Oh. He was probably hearing voices.
He's probably either hearing voices or really like not happy about what he did.
Yeah, that could be too.
Could be that. Could be crazy fucker.
Yeah,
Probably crazy fucker.
Could be column A, column B, you know.
So the next one is there's one on there that maybe it's Lawrence Russell. Hang on. I got it in here.
Come on, pull your act together.
Hang on.
Our audience is getting
Hang
tired
on.
here.
Hang on. I know. All of our listeners are very upset with me right now. Okay.
All of our listeners.
No, Lawrence Russell Brower.
Lawrence Russell Brower.
No. So anyway, there was a guy on here, and I'm fucking pissed off that I don't have the thing here. He ordered a bag of Jolly Ranchers. That's all he had.
I'm going with the same thing. He was hoping he could just suck on those for the rest of his life and be like, I'm still going.
Yeah, I'm still going. Never ending gobstopper or everlasting gobstopper. So last we have James Edward Smith, convicted in March of '83, shooting death of Larry Don Roos during a robbery of offices inside the International Trade Center building in Houston. Rohus?
I don't know where Rohus.
Rohus. District manager of the Union Life Insurance Company and another employee were in the company's cashier office when Smith approached with a pistol and demanded money. When the second employee fled behind the filing cabinet, Rohus complied with Smith's instructions and placed an undetermined amount of money inside a small trash can and placed it onto the table near the robber. Rohus began to walk away. Smith called him back, fired a shot as Smith pleaded for his life. Wow. But was shot through the heart and died. Smith was arrested some short term later in an apartment complex after being pursued on foot by one of Rohus' co-workers. Fucking shout out to that guy. Chasing down a guy who just shot his friend.
Yeah, Jesus.
And a crew of workers at the apartment complex. No co-defendants. And yeah, so he just shot a guy, I guess just for the sake of shooting a guy.
Yeah, because he already had the money.
Yeah. So this guy, you're gonna get why this guy's fucking wacky. What do you think this guy wanted?
All right, we're a little all over the place here. I'm gonna go Reese's peanut butter cup. One,
No.
not even a what?
He ordered a clump of dirt.
Oh, so he is nuts.
Yeah, he ordered the dirt because it's used in witchcraft and voodoo rituals. So, at the purpose of gassing is an unnatural way to enter the afterlife by way of your enemies. So, you fill your body with dirt so that you don't return as a ghost or some shit like that. And they were like, no. Long story short, they're like, no, you're not getting
Dirt.
You're not getting dirt. So he was like, all right, I'll just have a cup of yogurt, which is kind of dirt.
That's what he went with, a cup of yogurt.
Yeah. So like he put all his chips of brainstorming into like, I'm getting this dirt, to the point where his option B was yogurt. Not like chicken's feet or something that he maybe can do some voodoo with. Like, don't they do chicken feet with voodoo?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing like he didn't have a plan B.
I would be like, just give me some lettuce. Don't wash it.
Yeah.
Might have a little dirt.
Yeah.
on there.
Fresh picked, carrots.
Yeah.
1,000 of them.
1,000.
Lot of
I
them.
want 1,000 carrots.
And just
I'll
don't
do my own work.
Don't clean them. Don't clean them.
I want that dirty carrot.
I want the carrot. not the dirt on the
He
can.
would take one bite and be like, ew, I do want to come back as a ghost. Fuck this.
Why do you think they wouldn't give him the dirt?
Me going way out there.
Because he would get sick and die from it?
I'm thinking future lawsuit. This is probably going to anger you, but imagine he had a kid out there who said, what is this, Texas? Who says, that's cruel and unusual punishment. That is not a last meal. I'm suing the state of Texas because you did not give my grandfather his last meal or something like that.
Well, they didn't give it to him.
Well, no, I'm saying, like, it's not food, so it's not a meal. Granted, he wanted it, but I could imagine someone turning around and being like, nope, there isn't food. You didn't give him a last meal. You didn't give him his last rites. I'm suing. Give me the money.
Maybe.
That's my headcanon.
Yeah, maybe.
In all actuality, it was probably just some dude who just said, no.
Yeah, dirt. I guess it would have to be an edible substance.
Yeah.
Because then people get like I want to roll toilet paper.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
I want a gun.
I want a gun. I want to eat a gun and the bullets.
If I eat the bullet, I go to heaven. So give it to me.
They could arrange that.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah. You know what's crazy too is that I think that there might not be any more, but I know that when we were growing up, there was still like I think 3 or 4 states that you got to choose what way you died if you were on death row. It was like lethal injection. There was like a couple hanging states. There was a couple firing squad states. And there was like one left that was still ride the lightning, like electric chair, which is arguably like the worst way to go.
That was actually a plot point on that show Oz, which was the
I've heard of it.
Yeah, the prison show from years ago. They had this death row spot, and the one girl put off her execution for as long as possible. Same thing. It took place in one of the states where you can decide, and she wanted to be stoned to death.
Yeah, that hasn't happened legally in this country for, I think, ever.
So the whole, I don't know what would have actually happened in real life, but the whole plot of the show was they can't deny her wish, but it would have been cruel and unusual, so they couldn't go through with it. So she was delaying her death for as long as possible until they eventually said, okay. But it's a TV show. So
Okay, so let me ask, who did the stoning?
I watched the show when I was like 10. I don't remember.
Okay, so, because you know what they used to do with firing squad, right?
They would have like 6 or 7 guys fire, so you don't know who had the killing shot.
Well, they would load like half the guns.
Oh,
So like a couple people would have live rounds, but they would also load blank cartridges so they would still feel the kick.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't know which guy.
I didn't know about the blank spot, but I knew that.
Yeah, well, you would definitely know if you had a bullet then if you shot. Like, the purpose is to not make the person shooting the gun know if they were actually the person that killed them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The hanging, I guess, is just like they can't have like 5 people with their hands on the lever. Like, you know, so I guess like the shooting thing is like very specific. We're like, we don't want them to know who did it.
Yeah.
But everyone else, it's like, John killed him. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. They're outlawing that in a lot of states, right? I don't know if there's that many states left. Texas is never getting rid of it.
The death penalty?
No.
No. Texas is probably going to be one of the last holdouts.
Yeah. Texas is going to bring back the guillotine. I'm not against it. No, I'm just kidding. That's all I got.
All right.
Very lighthearted, family-friendly topic.
Fun for the whole family.
The last meals of insane murderers.
It was a good topic. I approve of this one.
Yeah. You like the crime shit, which is the only reason why I did it.
I like the crime shit. You know, it's different when you introduce a dark topic. It's weirder when we're talking about something happy and then you circle back to sad things. Like I could be like, let's talk about the colors of the rainbow. And you'll just be like,
Do you know that the colors of the rainbow were actually used in the execution of the You're like, no, but now I do. So thanks for putting that in my head. Now it's rolling around in there.
The one all the way at the end is the crimson red of blood. And you're just like,
You're like, oh, okay.
the same kind of blood that sharks like to smell as they eat you raw. And you're just,
You want to do the entertainment for my nephew's birthday party next month?
We'll end it real fast. All right, guys, let us know in the comment section down below what you thought about this story. What weird ass people? What would be your last meal?
That's what I was going to ask you. That's what I was going to end with. What is your last meal?
Probably my favorite meal: chicken franchise.
Okay.
Chicken franchise, a beer, and a cigarette.
A beer, just one beer and one cigarette?
Well, not like I'm going to have a lot of time to. You know me, I fill up quick.
How many? Not to drag this out any longer, but I'm gonna because it's our show. How many alcoholic beverages, if any, are you allowed to order?
I'm gonna say 0 because I didn't hear a single alcoholic drink on that list. So I'm gonna go ahead and assume you are not allowed.
They don't even let somebody order a beer?
Because I would do. How far in advance is your last meal? Is it like within the hour?
I think it's the last meal, so it's got to be within a couple hours.
So I would, if they gave me that option.
What, they don't want them to have a bad reaction to death?
Yeah, exactly. I'd be like, give me a case of beer. I'll get hammered, and then I'll be a little less sad about dying.
I mean, okay,
well,
so...
the whole point, to be fair, about the whole lethal injection is that it's painless. So maybe alcohol does counter... They first give you a sedative. You go to sleep, and then you die. Maybe the sedative doesn't work if you have alcohol in your system.
So let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Now I have more questions. So... if the entire point of lethal injection is to make it as humane and painless as possible, that means, in essence, you are trying to make the person you're putting to death suffer the least.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So shouldn't you just give them whatever they want to calm them down, if that's your goal? Like, if someone's like, I want heroin.
Yeah, but if he takes heroin and the heroin has a counter reaction with the sedative and gives him a painful death,
it won't, though. The sedatives work, I believe, no matter what is in your system. Sedatives put you to...
I don't fully believe that because it's the same thing with not just death row patients, but if someone isn't what is that word? When you're about to die, you go to hospice. If you're in hospice and you ask for like a drink or something, they won't give it to you because the way alcohol mixes with certain medications can give you a nasty reaction to things.
Yeah, but that's not sedative. They don't give you sedatives that like anesthesia. You're talking about anesthesia. They don't give you anesthesia when you're in hospice.
They give you something.
They might give you pain medicine, but they don't give you anesthesia.
Maybe.
Anesthesia can't be sustained indefinitely because it'll kill you.
Okay.
That's why when people go out, like you can't just, unless you like induce them into a coma, like a chemical induced coma. But the scary part about that is like you're worried that they won't wake up. That's the side effect.
Yeah.
So they're not going to wake up anyway because the second side effect.
I don't know if it's anesthesia that they give them, but I don't know enough about what they're giving them and like the side effects and whatnot to really.
Yeah, I don't either.
That's my educated guess is that they're afraid that it's going to have a negative. It's going to have a reaction with the drugs that they're giving them.
Yeah, I'm curious now whether they put them to sleep or they just give them something to calm them down. Now I'm confused.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Right?
I think that they put him to sleep.
Yeah, but all the movies show them that they're awake.
Yeah, well, movies are always true.
Do you think it's weird they televise them? If they televise them? Do they televise them? They do.
I don't remember. I don't remember ever. I don't think so.
Right? But they record them, obviously.
Yeah, they record them, but they don't. I don't think that they televise them.
That is kind of creepy.
Yeah.
What would you choose?
I don't want to answer that.
Come on. Would you choose electric chair? Fucking no. Right? Not electrocution.
No.
Like,
I mean, lethal injection. Go to sleep.
Yeah, not firing squad?
No. I want to go to sleep. Night-night.
Not hanging? Not stoned?
No. Yeah, I would definitely choose those. I would ask them to just drop me off in the middle of the ocean.
Dude, you know... last thing.
Jesus.
Dude, you know how fucked up... Like, granted, I'm sure that, here's the other thing. I'm sure there's a lot of innocent people that got fucking executed too.
I'm sure.
But with the electric chair, it was basically like, burn, and then sometimes they'd be like, no, not now, burn. Like, imagine being that guy. Just like you're sitting there cooking and they take it off.
I forget who it was, and I forget 90% of the circumstance. But there was a famous scientist who got executed, and he wanted his death to be his last like thing.
Experiment?
Yeah. So he said, I want to be beheaded. Or they told him he was going to be beheaded, something like that.
Oh, this has got to be way back in the day.
And he basically said, I will blink 3 times if I am still alive. And he did. They executed him, held up his head, and it blinked 3 times. So there was a moment in time when he did not have a body, could not talk, but he was still alive without a body.
So your muscles can move your eyes, but can you move his lips then?
I don't know. Don't ask me any more questions because I have as few details as humanly possible. I urge everyone to look this up. But that was why he came up with the blinking thing. Like, so it wasn't random. Like, he said, I will blink this number of times.
What a fucking nerd. What a fucking nerd.
I mean,
just like they're like, you're going to kill you because you're a psychopathic murderer. And he's like, okay, guys.
Well,
Like,
I don't know. It might have been like the Catholic Church killed him because like he discovered that the Earth was round or something. I don't know. I forget all the details about it.
Dude, if this was back when the Catholic Church had that power, imagine how freaked out people were that were holding his head up. When he's like, they're like, yeah, you fucking witch. We're going to burn you at the stake, you goddamn goblin. And he's like, well, I'm going to blink 3 times and then I'm going to come back. And then like they cut his head off and he's just like, how freaked the fuck out were all those holy rollers?
Probably very. Probably.
They didn't sleep a wink for 30 years. Just waiting for that blinking fucker to come rolling down the hallway.
All right, guys.
Whew.
This has gotten dark.
This has gotten dark.
Let us know in the comment section something. I don't know. We'll catch you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day.